Well, it certainly didn't take long for bills impacting marriage, divorce, and annulment to start rolling in for the 2025 legislative session. So we have Texas coming in, which we know is, one of the most conservative states. One of their conservative lawmakers filed 2 bills regarding marriage, divorce, and annulment for the 2025 legislative session. This is from Lone Star Live. From that website, and it was published November 14th. So the latest, and I'm going to read it because I don't know all this stuff, but 2 pieces of legislation submitted. One is House Bill 732, which would repeal a section of the Texas Family Code that allows marriages to be annulled on the grounds of impotency. So currently it allows for an annulment specifically if either party was permanently impotent at the time of marriage, the other did not know their spouse was impotent, and they had not voluntarily cohabited since finding out. So if passed, House Bill 732 would apply only to marriage annulment requests filed on or before September 1st of 2025. So that is in process. The other bill in Texas is House Bill 931, which would make Texas one of 4 states that allow covenant marriage, and they have covenant marriage in quotes. That type of arrangement is tied to conservative Christianity and emphasizes marriage being for life, although divorce is still legally available. So some notable political figures that have entered into covenant marriages, we'll see if any of these names sound familiar to you: U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. Advocates say it promotes traditional family values, which again is a phrase that was all over the original full text of the Project 2025 document, all 922 pages, and it encourages couples to solve marital problems. So some critics say it makes it harder for people to flee abusive situations and represents a government endorsement of a specific form of religious, I trip over that word, specific forms of religious marriage. So under the proposed Texas state law, couples are legally required to complete at least 5 hours of premarital counseling from a clergy member or licensed marriage counselor before entering into a covenant marriage. So again, another tie back to the Project 2025 language was that there would be a lot of faith-based marital counseling and faith-based marital supports that would be focused on. So to divorce, both parties must agree to the split, as well as attend at least 5 hours of counseling from a clergy member or licensed counselor. So here's a caveat. Entering into a covenant marriage would be voluntary, and they could not be charged a fee for issuing a covenant marriage license under H. Bill 931. Non-covenant marriage participants still would be required to pay a fee unless the couple completed state-approved premarital education courses, which I would say the unspoken part there is faith-based. Again, this is from an article that was posted on LoneStarLive.com on November 14th, so very, very current. And it's already showing like legislation like this, these House bills, these things that are not necessarily stating the removal or retraction of no-fault divorce, which is a term you hear a lot. They're coming in, named a little bit different nuances and what's required, what's restricted, what's mandatory. But, as with any good contract or House bill, it's all in the fine print. So it'll be interesting to see what other states decide to start introducing legislation that impacts marriage and divorce and requirements around both of those things going into the 2025 legislative session. Follow, comment. I'm going to keep looking at things, and we'll see what happens next.